Sun is shining bright. Pack your bags, let's go. Feel the summer light.
Hey, what's up guys? Scott here from Filipina-Australian family. Got some good news. We are out of here. We got our travel permit, and so this video is all about up in the air. Alright. So just get up in the air, and I'll continue to talk through this so that you guys can just hear my thoughts on what we're going to be doing for the next 3 weeks. So just as what you're seeing here is just you're going to see the ocean in a minute. We've got a lot of new developments going up in the neighborhood. There's the main strip. They've got kind of just like north-south traffic. So they've got drive-throughs, and they've got other little kind of commercial shops. There you get the waterways, and then just beyond that you get the ocean. So I'll try to just give you a little bit more of that, and then we're gonna have a little browse around to see what's happening this time of day. This is something that's gonna be, you can probably expect from our channel once in a while. When Ella and I go places, we like to just have our bearings, know what's around, explore new areas, and this is just kind of our backyard. So you can see there in the high rises, that's all Surfers Paradise area of the Gold Coast. In the back here you've got the mountains, and it's a bit hazy, so I think there might have been some fires. It's really warmer than normal, so you never know how nature kind of reacts to all that. But there you can see the sunset in the background, and it just kind of tucks away in behind the mountains. So it's kind of a neat time of day because the sun will reflect onto the beaches and onto some of the buildings. And so this is really like our patch. There's been a lot of changes in the last year or two, and it's been a good spot for Ella to just settle and become familiar with what's around. So there, probably if you zoom in straight ahead, that's where you've got a new shopping center, and that's where you go for sushi. That's where there's like little nice restaurants, and they've got some decent drive-through areas for the convenience of it all. And then in the background there you can see that's where the waterways are. That's where we go boating, and I think we're gonna just pan around here full circle. You might be able to have a little peek to see that closer to the water there's some parks, and that's where we'll go down for shoot some basketball. It's very easy to walk, and yeah, so it's very pleased with how it's all panned out. But the theme of this video is getting my wife back to her home country, because that's really what was the hard challenge for the last sort of year, and we got through all that. So yeah, let's just wander and see if I'll put this drone into high gear and see what we can explore. So let's go a little bit south. I can just kind of hear the drone taking off in the background. So this is kind of a skill. I'm not sure if you guys are hobbyists where you try your own little gadgets and things, but these are pretty handy little tools for exploring. You do have to keep an eye on things like the range, how far you can go, but it is kind of a really beautiful, peaceful experience. If you haven't flown a drone before, yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking to try it yourself, and I'm not going to be super elegant cinematic with it. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a points of view and reference points. And I do, obviously fly within. I've got a lot of hours racked up, so I'm pretty comfortable getting around. But yeah, there you can see here, this is the time of day where people are getting off work, and you can see that there's really no traffic in the inner parts of where we live, the suburb. But if you were to head out towards the highway section, that's where it gets jammed up. So it's going to be like night and day. We're going to be in Manila in about 48 hours, and so there's going to be just jam-packed traffic there. that's fine. We're not going to be doing driving. We're going to just try to keep it minimal. So overall, you know, this is our chance to kind of reset, and that's something that I know that a lot of you guys get caught in, waiting for things. So if it's like a long distance partner, or you're just waiting for, you know, your retirement, or you're waiting for, you know, move to the same country, or anything, you know, there's even just waiting for a holiday to come through so you can get some free time, and I definitely get that. So, you know, this is going to be us. We're going to travel to a couple different points on the way there. Pretty much the goal is to get to Ella's hometown, which is in Bicol, B-I-C-O-L, Philippines. And, you know, it's kind of a really neat area. We'll be taking the drone along so you can see from the sky just how, like, natural beauty is. They've got a big volcano, and I'm just noticing my signal's getting pretty low here, so I'm going to pan around and bring it back home. One thing I do have to watch out for is there's some high wires. I do have some footage where I had this tracking my vehicle around the block, and I hit some power lines quite nicely. So there's our little spot, and so we're lucky to get a little patch, a little bit of a park and greenery, with some of our restaurants in the area. And what I really wanted to show you is just like things in development. So one thing we're going to do in the Philippines is look at land, and land is cheap compared to Western. Zoom on this. Compared to Western standards, it's very cheap. But that doesn't mean everything's a good deal. So we're going to try to understand that process. Ella doesn't necessarily know a lot about it. She, of course, has the traditional values of just trying to take care of the family and forward thinking like that, but she's also got a break free mentality where she's just trying to make it on her own, like take care of herself first, and then, you know, of course you want to be looking out for the family as well. What we're going to look at is yeah, the best value properties we can find in her area, and it's important that we stay close to her area because just for that family reason. Now I'm going to try to look at areas that I can expand into work. Sorry, we got a little bit of a dog in the background, but yeah, I'll take care of that dog in a minute. But essentially what you're seeing here is a development. What they're doing in just like any kind of urbanized area, they start to get rid of the old homes and put up new ones. And this is just a massive block. This used to be a couple different houses and a bit of a open lot, and they've just put it all together, did the real estate deal, and you can see behind there's some row houses. It's pretty clean actually. Like if you look at, I'm not going to go down too close, but you can basically see there you've got solar panels, and that looks like it's all OEM, so the builder would have put those in stock. So that's a good forward thinking. So you do get some modern thinking happening here. And you know, this is the next one to go up, and this is just a massive block for what you'd see normally. Like for example, that little white one, that little white house there, after the tree, you can see there's some old houses, and then there's my house there, which is that sort of side-by-side white one on the corner of the park. So that was an old house, and they put up a side-by-side. And yeah, so you can see how they do it. It's a little bit slow moving. People are quite greedy with land prices here, so the one across the road you can see is a bit of a, I don't know, like a junkyard or something. They should have sold this years ago, but they've been hanging on for years and years trying to get the big price. I think they own all 3 lots, and so they're trying to, you know, pull in like 10 million or something for all 3. But anyway, this is more about the Philippines video. We're up in the air, we're heading out on our own sort of sky ride, taking planes. We're going to be dropping off in Singapore, dropping off in Kuala Lumpur, and hopefully that's a bit of something new for you guys. So I'll bring this drone in for the landing, and please give us a subscribe to let us know that you're into the journey ahead. We got about 30 days of walk and talk, taking you to new places, meeting people. We're going to do some street interviews, and yeah, that pretty much brings us back to the next step in our journey. So we'll see what that brings. All right, guys. So let me bring this in, and we'll see you in the next video.